WVUA News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Tamika Alexander. Thanks for joining us. The Birmingham News has been providing papers to the masses daily since 1888. Today, history was made as people went to pick up their daily newspaper, only to realize that times are changing, and so is their daily newspaper. WVUA's Molly Mitchell has more in tonight's top story.
The Birmingham News stresses its reliability right on their newsstands, delivering news every single day. But now that Birmingham's parent company, Newshouse Publications, is only printing papers Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, people are talking about the paper rather than just reading it.
What is it? The fact that I can hold it and I can see a lot at once somehow is nicer than having a small little thing.
It's a big thing if there's ever a story about you in the paper or somebody that you know, that's kind of a thing. You go buy the newspaper, buy a few copies, and you'll clip it out and save it and put it on the refrigerator.
One question about having major cities cutting down on print is how will this impact content?
Places in small town Alabama, mid-sized towns in Alabama, without the local newspaper, we don't have any local news.
But according to Ms. DeCaro, local news is why she sips her coffee paper side.
The main reason that I still get it is for the local news and what's going on, events that are coming up and all that. That's the main reason I get it now.
Birmingham is utilizing the web to distribute their news. Tuscaloosa News remains print 7 days a week and has no immediate plans to change that. Regardless of what Tuscaloosa is doing, one can't ignore the times are changing.
It used to be people would make an appointment with their newspaper, that they would sit down at 6 o'clock with their cup of coffee and their newspaper, and they liked that feeling. In today's environment, we make that appointment more with our iPhone.
Our generation will adapt to it, but then you've got the people that are not used to that. There's a lot of older people that haven't bought into the technology age.
Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Molly Mitchell, WVUA News.
Tuscaloosa News is monitoring Birmingham's demand for a 7-day paper, and depending on what they observe, they may begin selling more papers in the area. Well, October is Domestic Abuse Awareness Month, a time for organizations such as Turning Point to let people know they are not alone when it comes to standing up to abuse in the household. Turning Point's Iola Ammons was once a victim herself and now spends her time advocating for others. WVUA's Travis Leader sat down with Ammons and found out how her awareness led her to help others following in her footsteps.
We don't want to.
Isola Ammons thought she was just going through relationship problems until she began volunteering at Turning Point and finding out what domestic violence really means.
I felt as if these are things that you go through normally in a relationship. You have your arguments and things of that sort, but it became more apparent that my situation was mainly about power and control.
This newfound knowledge let her overcome her problems, and now Ammons uses her story to help others.
I'm not saying to you that I'm just giving you facts. I'm telling you because this is my story.
And what was once a dark moment in her life is now what she uses to spread the message to all of West Alabama.
It makes me more passionate and makes me want to get out there and do it that much more and be that much more involved in the community.
Ammons stresses to victims that you will never escape the constant fear surrounding you if you do not take that first scary step towards freedom.
You may not be in the best mental capacity right now, but know that you stood up. You took the biggest step of all, a step that many women don't get to take or never take.
In Tuscaloosa, Travis Leader, WVUA News.
If you are a victim of domestic violence or sexual assault, you can call Turning Point at the number on your screen, 205-758-0808. Phone lines are open 24 hours a day. We'll also focus on other issues for you on WVUA News at 5 each Thursday. Tuscaloosa's Turning Point will join us in studio, and that's this Thursday on WVUA News at 5. Well, on your Health Watch, October marks Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A lot of women may be wondering if mammograms are the best way to fight breast cancer. According to the Centers for Disease Control, the answer is yes. The CDC says regular mammograms are still the best test physicians use to find early cases of breast cancer. In some situations, up to 3 years before a lump can be felt. Experts say women should have mammograms every 2 years after the age of 50. If breast cancer runs in your family, your physician may suggest a mammogram program before the age of 50. And a special programming note to pass along to you. All during the month of October, we will have special guests for you on WVUA News at 5. Each Tuesday, an expert will join us with important information about issues surrounding breast cancer. And more money could soon be in the pockets of Tuscaloosa County employees. County commissioners are expected to consider pay raises for employees this week. They're looking at an $84.7 million budget for 2013, according to the county's accounting manager, Bill Lamb. The reason for the increase in pay is because sales and property taxes have brought in more revenue than expected. The budget increase would benefit many county agencies, including the public library. If approved, it will take effect immediately. And there's help for businesses who are recovering in the recovery zones of the Tuscaloosa area. The city of Tuscaloosa began accepting applications for their $2.5 million commercial revolving loan program today. The goal is to provide incentives and relief for businesses rebuilding in areas impacted by last year's tornado. The program is funded by a grant from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. According to city leaders, it's an interest-free loan, but it must be repaid in 3 years. Business owners say if they're approved, these loans will help them get back on their feet.
I think it'll help offset our building program because I did not have enough insurance. And then possibly provide cash flow for the unexpected, and I'm sure we'll run into a lot of that.
You'll make your payments back to us, and we'll turn around and push that money back out into the community to another business that maybe needs the loan as well.
Applications will be accepted until October 30th. For more information, you can find a link to the city's website through our website, WVUATV.com. Well, a record-breaking conference kicked off at the Capstone today with hundreds of people from all around the world. More than 500 people are part of the National Outreach Scholarship Conference. The 4-day conference is made up of professors, students, and community partners. WVUA's Courtney Highfield has more.
Partner, inspire, change. The 3 words that represent the theme of this year's conference.
What we're trying to communicate through that theme is that the partnerships that we're facilitating here, higher education, our students, our community partners, coming together to solve problems that society faces, that if we partner, we'll inspire each other to come up with solutions to these problems.
Officials say they want to emphasize just how important it is for universities to join forces with their community.
I have seen what happens and how people are transformed as a result of participating and helping other people to improve their lives.
Community is made up of more than just people and places and purpose. It's made up of all of those working together to make change. And in order to affect change, you have to be a part of your community. You have to know what it is and what is going on.
And this kind of partnership helps more than just the community.
These opportunities actually expand the classroom for our students.
It not only helps the community, it transforms the student.
Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Courtney Highfield, WVUA News.
The conference wraps up Wednesday. Well, turning now to the weather, let's get a first check on Alabama's home team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Richard, a messy Monday out there, and all that rain does not make a good hair day for the ladies. So tell me there's a break in sight.
Yeah, Tamika, good news is on this Monday night, we're starting to dry things out. By the way, I do want to mention we had a tornado across east central Alabama earlier this morning, about 4:45 over in Coosa County. National Weather Service found EF0 type damage, which means winds up to 85 miles per hour. That storm was short-lived. The path length was less than 1/2 mile. Now, no rain to talk about now. All the rain's out of here. Only a sprinkler or 2 left behind that. Just going to be some drizzle on and off tonight. But the heavier rain, hey, it's out of here now. Still a lot of cloud cover, though, behind the storm system. Yeah, some low-level moisture wraps around that low pressure northeast of us. 65 now in Tuscaloosa, getting cooler tonight. It's going to be cool tomorrow as we top out close to 72. What about the rest of the forecast and your weekend forecast? Home team weather's coming up. Stay with us.
Thanks, Richard. The beginning of October means it's time to bring out all those fall decorations, and for many, that means a trip to the pumpkin patch. Flatwoods Baptist Church has opened their pumpkin patch in Northport. From the tiniest pumpkins to the great big ones, there are a little of something for everyone looking for that perfect pumpkin. Officials say it's open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. now through October 31st. Well, bring out the lawn chairs, blankets, and popcorn because it's time to go to the movies, and we're heading back to the future. The Transportation Museum and the City of Tuscaloosa are teaming up to present the classic 80s hit this Friday night. All the fun begins at 7 p.m. behind the museum on the historic Queen City Pool. Admission is $5 per vehicle, and popcorn will be available for purchase. Well, in WVUA News at 10 returns, we'll have the latest on the presidential candidates as they prep for the first debate. And the injury bug has been the Crimson Tide. Nick Saban will react to the disappointing news later on Alabama's Home Team Sports.